Hello. Good morning, Piyush. So, how are you? You, yeah, I'm fine. You got the mail yesterday that there was no class. Okay. So, have you downloaded a sequel? Uh, the link, right? I and see, I'm recording all of the sessions that we are covering. So I wanted to upload also, but due to poor quality of internet, I'm not able to. So I will be sharing the videos also from this first class, since the first class held. Okay, so that if you have any confusion, or if you want to practice the things that we are covering, so that you can do with the help of the videos. Okay, I'll share them also. Yeah, I'll upload them. Okay. So today we are going to work on SQL. We will cover all the different languages of SQL, as we have learned before that the different languages are DDL, DQL or DRL, DML and TCL and DCL. See, the data control language, that is DCL, I will be covering that on Oracle, because that is containing some different commands that does not run on SQL. So we will be working on this language on Oracle. So I will do that separately, because I have two PCs where I have installed Oracle for Informatica, because Informatica sometimes like it's a trial version of Informatica. So after some days I need to just remove all of the stuff from the PC, and then I need to install it again. So that's why I just installed it in another PC to work with. So as we work with Informatica and Oracle side by side, that's why I have installed Oracle there. So I'll show you that also. Let us cover this portion first. Yeah, it will be a direct installation. No, you don't need to do any setups. And can you tell me your PC's like informations, like is it 64-bit or 32-bit, how much RAM it has and all? 8 GB RAM. Okay. Okay. And um the size of hard disk? Okay, so no problem then. You can install all of them side by side there only. I'll also suggest you to install Informatica on VM if you use it, because the trial version of Informatica just works for 12 or 15 days. After that, it starts showing troubling you. That's why. Do you use VM? Okay. Basically, you just need to practice for some days, and you want to add this feature in your CV, right? Or are you interested in doing a job as an ETL tester nowadays? Okay, fine. Okay, no problem. Actually, I was saying, because if as I work with Informatica all the time, so I need it in my PC all the time. That's why. after 15 days, the trial version, when it is over, it starts troubling me. It starts showing me issues that we cannot reach to the Informatica administrator page. So those kind of issues everyone faces. That's why I'm saying, if you don't have two PCs or any alternate, then you can, what you can do, you have to just remove all the stuff. And that's very, sometimes what happens, there is some patch file that gets stuck, and when we download the newer version of Informatica, it's just like it clashes at some place, and it shows us some trouble and all. That's why I'm saying. Okay, we'll discuss it later. So let's start today's topic. So we'll start with DDL command. So as we know that in DDL command, we will be covering the create command, alter command, rename, drop, and truncate. So basically, in create command, we will be creating database. See, before we create database or table, let me give you some information, some basic information about the SQL. So here we can check all the databases that are listed out. Like I'm having master database, model database, MSDB, and TempDB. Okay, there are only 4 databases that were the default bases of SQL. When I downloaded SQL, I just got these 4 databases. I haven't added any database over here. Any additional databases base is not added. And yeah, so this is the execute button. After running every query, we can execute from there. And we will learn today how to attach any other database according to our requirement also. So here I'm pointing towards master database, so I will be creating the database first. I'll create a new database, like this way. You will go create database and database name. I'll go. Simply we can create any database, and while creating any database, it is not important that where you are pointing towards. Like you can point towards any database. That doesn't mean, because now we are creating database, we are not creating any table, so it will not interrupt us. So let me execute this. So yeah, command has completed successfully. So we have successfully created a database. Now if I'll go to database and I'll refresh it, this time I'm getting an additional database that is named as Priyanka. Fine. So here now I will be pointing towards this database, and now I'll create a table. For creating the table, the syntax is create table. You will give any table name, like I'm giving Stu, and then you have to start with your round brackets, where I'll go with ID, name, and age. So I want these 3 columns in my table, but after providing the column names, we have to provide the data types also. Like here I'll go with name, varchar, age, will also go with integer data type, and done. So this way you have to follow the syntax, like create table, table name, column name and data type, and then another column name, and so on. So let me execute this. So with this we have completed with the create command. Okay, now what if we want to make some changes in our table after creating that table? Can we make the changes? So with the help of alter command, we can do that. Alter table, table name, add column name, data type, and whenever you are going with varchar data type, you have to provide some length for your values, then only it will accept your data. So alter table name, here I am saying with the alter command we can add any column, we can also drop any column, like delete any column. Alter table name, drop column. I'll show you both of these transactions. Okay, fine. So when we are making the changes, what we did, we said add. We did not mention that add column. We just mentioned the column name, then the data type and the length if it is required. And if I just execute this, see the command has completed successfully. How you can check the schema of the table? How you could do that? So for checking the schema of the table, I will go with sp_help. So basically what is this? SP means it's a stored procedure. So these are the predefined stored procedures that are already supporting the SQL. So we will learn about the stored procedure topic separately also. So this is just a command which I am using right now. Okay, so I'll go with sp_help. So here with the help of this command, it will show me the whole schema of the table, that how many columns are there, what kind of data type is used, what is the length taken for each column, and whether it is accepting null values or not. See, if you check this schema, here it's coming with different things. First of all, it's coming with the table name, and it's saying that the owner of the table is DBO, that means database organization. And here if you check, there are 4 columns. Previously I added 3 columns over here with the create command, and then with the help of alter command I just added one more column of address, which is containing the length as 21. Here you can check the data type is provided, the length is provided, and one more important thing, this one, the label means whether the columns will accept null values or not. This is what it is mentioning. And now if I move forward, here as you can see, it's saying that no identity column defined. That means we have not provided any identity column. What does that mean? We haven't provided any primary key or foreign key, or we haven't provided any restriction on our data. It's just a simple data that is containing some rows and columns. Sorry, not rows, we haven't added yet. So it is containing some columns. Now let's move forward. So we have done insert and create and alter. Now let us learn how we can rename our table. So for renaming our table, again I'll go with another store procedure, predefined one. So before that I'll go with exec, that means execute sp rename. You have to provide the old table name first in inverted commas, like what is the old table name, that is 2, and then I'll go with comma which separates the new table name within quotes. You have to write the So what it is saying, it's saying that I want to rename this old table name with this new table name. Let's try this, and if I'll execute, it's also showing us a warning message that changing any part of an object name could break scripts and store procedures. See, as we have not provided any store procedures on the basis of this table, so we don't need to worry, right? We have just created this table, we haven't created any store procedure on the basis of that table, so we need not to worry. Yeah, so this way we came to know that our table name has been changed. How we will come to know? If I'll go with the select query, select star from, see, I'm getting this, and if execute this, it will show us an error message that is invalid objects2. That means this we can say this object is not existing in our database. This is what they are saying. If I'll try to go with the select query again with the new name, which I have changed it to select star from student. Now if I go with this and execute, and see, I'm getting the table ID, name, age and address, as it is containing only the columns because we haven't added any rows in it. Yeah. Okay. Are you going for that it is saying that it gave us a caution message that it could break any store procedure and any script that is, yeah, let me explain you that also. See, what I was saying that we have just created a table, a simple table. Had we created any store procedure on this table which we have created right now? No, we haven't created. Because when we will cover the topic of store procedure, I'll tell you how we can create a table and how we can create store procedure on the basis of that table so that we can execute it again and again. Yeah, it was just a reference for this table. It is saying that if you have created any store procedure on this table, then it might break. Yeah. Let me have you understood, or let me explain you again. Okay. See, Piyush, one more thing. When we create store procedures, we go with create procedure and we go with the procedure name, and then we use the table name, right? If we are changing any table name, then that will interrupt there also, na? Because that table will not exist in the store procedure with the same name. So how will that be possible? That's why it was showing us that error message. Okay, fine. So we went with the select query. So till now we have understood the create command, alter command, rename, and then I came up to the next language that is select, that is containing only the select query. See, why do we call the select query as the data query language or data retrievable language? Data query language means whatever it is just containing a query that will fetch us all the values that is present in our table. And what do we mean by data retrievable language? Basically, with the select query, what we are doing, we are just retrieving the data that is already existing in our database. That's why it is called as data query language and data retrievable language. I have not covered the drop command and the truncate command till now, because I'll first show you how to insert data, how to update data, then we'll move up to the drop, delete and truncate separately. Okay, now yeah, no, I haven't used, I'll use it. So see, as we have covered how to add any column, now we have seen that the column is added. Now if I want to remove any column from the existing table, so can we do that? So yeah, we can do that. Alter table name, drop column and the column name. You have to remember the syntax that whenever we are deleting any column from our table, we have to mention the column as well as the column name. But while adding the column, you don't need to mention the column, you just need to mention the column name directly and the data type and the length. Okay, it's saying that cannot find Stu because we have changed the name of the table. So yeah, execute and see, the command has completed successfully. Got it? Okay, so let's move to the next commands. Insert, update, delete and merge. So first of all, let's see how we can insert data in our table. So for that you have to follow the syntax: insert into student, because this is the new name of our table, and this time we will mention all the columns that are present in our table: ID, name and age, and then we'll go with values, and I'll say the value for ID is 101. Then I'll go with the name. While mentioning any varchar kind of data, you have to mention single quotes, okay? Like I'll go with Piyush, and what's your age? I don't know what, I guess this might be okay. Okay, so let's insert this. I'll also show you how we can insert multiple values and how we can insert a single value also. So this time I'm just inserting a single value in my table. So one row is affected. We can check the table through the select query and see one row is added. And what if I want to insert multiple values at a time? So what I'll do, I'll go with this time, instead of just inserting this value, I'll just put a comma to separate each value that is coming onwards. So the next one will be 103 as my ID and the name as Aman and age as okay. So let's add some more values. In that case also we have to do that manually. We have to add those values because see, one more thing we can do, that we can just pass that value through an ETL tool and it will just get passed directly to any database where we want. Otherwise we have to do that manually. Yeah. No, we don't have. No, in database we don't have any command to fetch data directly. We have to do that with the help of any tool. We can't do that directly. Like that cannot be held actually. Okay. So yeah. So 3 rows were affected. Let me check the table. Okay, it got executed twice, that's why this happened. So yeah, let's go with it. So here, as you can see, there are 7 records in this table which is containing different people. And here, why this table got repeated, like why these values got repeated, because there was no primary key or any other we can say restriction that was present in that table which could restrict the data, the repeated values. So that's why it got inserted twice. So no problem now. Yeah. So we have learned how to insert data, right? But what if we want to update some data? Like what if I want to update the data of any record manually? Like I just want to change the age of any person, or I just want to change the name of any person whose ID is 104 or 103. Can we do that? So yeah, with the help of update command we can do that. Yeah. yeah, it will add it every time until you have like provided any key to your table. If I might have provided any primary key to my table, then it might not have happened. Then after that, what would have happened? It would have said that we cannot add repeated values to the same column, like the column is not accepting repeated values. Yeah, yeah, you could provide a restriction for a single column. So see, if it not, like if I'll say that I'm providing the primary key constraint to the id column. Okay, so what will happen when I'll try to insert this again? The primary key column constraint will show us the error message that this is not accepted because this is already present in our table. So with the help of this error message, this value will also not get inserted, this one. Whereas I haven't provided any primary key for the name column, because sometimes what happens, name may occur twice, but I don't want any repeated values for the id column because id column is unique for all of them. Yeah, so with the help of this record, with the help of only a single value, the whole record will not get inserted. Okay. Okay, you are saying that when we have applied primary key, and when we are going with 102, 104, so up in our table up to 102 is present, and we are going with repeated that value. So obviously if we are going with multiple values in a single query, then it will not insert any value. It will say first we need to remove the value which is getting repeated, and then we will be able to insert the other values. It will show us that which value is getting repeated in that case. Like if 102 is getting repeated, it will show us that this is a duplicate value. You just need to remove this. Yeah, should we move forward? So what I was saying, yeah, we were updating the value of our table manually. So for that, what we need to do, go with update table name and student, set column name, and let's say that I want to change the name of the person. Where ID is 104. Okay, so here what I'm saying that I want to update my table name. I want to send the name column value as Raghav wherever the ID is containing the value as 104. That means it will change the name of this person who is containing the ID as 104. So as we can see that there are two values in our table which are containing ID as 104. So will the update command change for both of them or for a single one? Can you tell that? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? can you hear me? Ah, okay, fine. Answer. Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay, okay, no problem. So, what do you think that this update command will change? Are you able to hear me now? Yeah, yeah, it will update both the values because both of the values are containing the ID. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, see, as you can see, two rows are affected. I guess the network quality is not good for me also. That's why you're not able to read. Okay, fine. So this is what it will happen. Am I audible? Hello? 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 Okay. Okay, okay. You are not able to see my content. But you are not able to see the content. Can you see my screen now? Okay. I guess there is a network issue. Is it fine now? Can you see the SQL command screen? No? Okay, let me try it again. It's happening. I guess this is happening because of poor network quality. Let me restart my internet. Wait a second. Hey, are you able to see my screen now? Hey, are you there? Yeah. Yeah, I also sent you so many messages in the chat. Then I was just about to mail you, but then I said, let me rejoin the call and let me try once. Then I'll go with that. Okay, fine. So let's complete this. So as we have completed the create, alter, rename, select and insert and update. So now we will learn how to drop, truncate and delete, and what is the basic difference between, among three of them. Okay. So if I talk about delete command, let's understand the difference first. Delete, and then comes drop and truncate. So basically what the delete command does is, the delete command will delete a single value according to your requirement. Like if you will provide some restriction, like I just want to delete that very value wherever the id value is this or the name value is this. Okay, so basically the delete command works with clauses, like the where clause. It comes with a restriction that it can delete all the values, or it can also delete a single value. If you want to delete all the values, then you can go with delete from table name. Like it will basically, delete works with where clause. Wherever you want to delete a single value manually, then you can just go with delete command. And what if I talk about drop command? Basically drop command will help you to delete all the values from the table, as well as it will delete the schema also. It will delete the whole schema. So basically it is assumed that this is our table and there are some values in our table, like there are some number of rows and columns. Okay, now what if I am providing this drop command or applying this drop command? What will happen? The server will not only delete these records, it will also delete the whole table from our database. That means it is removing the whole schema as well as the values from our database. Okay, what if I talk about truncate? Truncate will just remove all the values from the table. Remove all the values from the table. Okay, let me show you this practically. Like here I am having a table named as student, where I am having around 7 records. Now first of all, let us go with a delete command. I'll say delete from student where id is 102. I just want to delete that very record which is containing the id value as 102. Let us go with it. If I execute, it is deleting 2 records, since it is containing 2 records which are having the id as 102. So this way the other values are remaining in our table. Okay, so this time I am coming with 101, 103, 4, 103 and again 104. So basically delete is coming with a where clause, where we could provide any restriction that we just want to delete that very value, or we will come with conditions basically. Okay, now if I talk about truncate, so what truncate will do? Truncate will remove all the values from the table. I'll say truncate table and then I'll say table name. If I execute this, all the values from this table will get removed, but the schema of the table will remain. See, command has completed successfully. Now if I go with the select query, select star from student, now there are no values remaining in the table. So this way truncate works. So basically now we understood that the deleting option comes with 3 variations. one is delete, one is truncate, one is drop. Now we will learn how drop works, but before that let me insert some values. Like, let me go with the insert command again. Here, execute and see 3 rows are affected. Let me show you first. If I execute this, there are 3 values with the ID as 102, 3 and 4. Now if I go with the drop command, drop table and the table name. So this time what the server will do, the server will delete the whole values as well as the whole table with its values. So drop table student, so it will delete the whole table. Now if I try to go with the select query, select star from student, it will show us an error message that invalid object name student. That means this object is not existing anymore in this database. Fine. If you go with the database also, if I expand this, if I go to the tables, as you can see there are no tables existing in this database. Fine. You practice and then you will be master in this profile. Then after that you can switch to any other like background also, like if you want. Yeah, you can. Yeah. But it is, there are hub of jobs, like have